Roller coasters can be considered a piece of art. With the track bending into unique elements such as a pretzel loop, cobra roll, even a dog tongue, it comes along with the cool color scheme. The colors of the track can really make a ride pop. So I've decided in today's video to take most of the colors out there and pick the best roller coaster with that specific color. So we have mostly every color of the rainbow with some extras. And before starting, these are coasters that I have ridden, but we have some cool ones on here, so do not click off yet. So the first color of the rainbow is metallic. Oh right, sorry, I meant red. I have ridden 8 roller coasters that are painted red, and there are some cool ones here, but my pick here is Maverick at Cedar Point. Yes, there is Zandra, but I have not traveled out there yet. Maverick is an intimate LSM coaster, and it looks great in the Frontier Town section of Cedar Point. It has one of the most snappiest layouts I've experienced yet. The S-bends after the first drop have crazy laterals, there are 2 stigma dives that throw you, and there are 2 inversions, which is the twisted horseshoe roll, and is pretty rare. It looks tiny, but do not be fooled. Maverick is a wild ride. Now let's move on to the color orange. Same situation as red. I have also ridden 8 coasters that are colored orange, and we have some interesting entries here, such as Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando, Tigress at Busch Gardens Tampa, and Reptilian at King's Dominion. But let's stay at King's Dominion. Let's go towards the parking lot for Dominator. This is a B&M floorless coaster, and it was actually a relocation from another park. It operated at a park called Geauga Lake from 2000 to 2007. Then a year later, in 2008, it was sent here to King's Dominion. That's also the reason why the loop is yellow. It had a yellow color scheme when it was at Geauga Lake. As for the ride, it's really good. It ran pretty well, the inversions are great, and I love how you're surrounded by it. And hot take, it's the second best coaster in this park. Yes, I take this over Rapterra. And side note, Pantherian was closed when I visited, so I did not get to ride that. But anyway, Dominator is fantastic. Way better than the other 2 floorless coasters I've ridden. Now let's move on to yellow. I've ridden 2 yellow roller coasters for right now, and the winner here is the legendary Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I will get on Stardust Racers eventually, and that will steal the spot from Loch Ness Monster as the best yellow roller coaster I've ridden. So this is an old school aero looper that features a one-of-a-kind interlocking loops, which is a cool element on and off ride, but I will say it's pretty tight. The helix towards the middle is really loud, and since it's an aero, it's pretty janky. It kind of meanders at some points too. And I know there are some people who are sentimental about the ride, but I never grew up going to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It is cool how it's been running for over 45 years though. It has a wacky layout as well. Now let's move on to the main color of this channel, which is green. I have ridden another 8 coasters that are colored green, and don't worry, we're done with that number. So the best out of all of them is Raptor at Cedar Point. Same scenario here as yellow. When I ride Stardust soon, that will dethrone Raptor. But as for the ride, it's fantastic. It's crazy intense, it's a smooth coaster, and has a presence on the Cedar Point midway. Hearing that B&M roar while you're on the pathway just makes you hyped up for your day. Raptor has a great layout as well with 6 incredible inversions. I will create an updated review for Raptor soon, because the one for right now is pretty old. It is my second favorite B&M invert, right behind Montu. Now let's stick with Montu's track color scheme with the next color, blue. I have rode a lucky amount of 13 blue coasters, and we have some cool ones such as the aforementioned Montu at Busch Gardens Tampa, Pipeline at SeaWorld Orlando, and my pick here, Millennium Force at Cedar Point. This is the first and original Giga coaster, and wow, it is wild. Especially the first drop, it will scare the pants off of you for your first ride. The layout isn't the best, but it was built back in 2000, so it's fine. The restraints are just a little T-bar, and you feel extra exposed. This is also one of the coasters I have a review for, which you can check out in the card above. It does suck that I've only ridden this one time, and that's going to stick with me for a while. It's because we had very little time at Cedar Point. Overall, love Millennium Force. But let's move on to one of my favorite colors, purple. I've ridden 5 purple coasters, and mostly all of them are really good in quality, and this is the color that is home to my number 1 of all time, which is Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. There's not much to be said here. If you've ridden it, you know. It is unbelievable. The first drop is crazy, the death roll is nuts, you just whip so hard during that element. The wave turn is unbelievable, the layout is godly, you just have to come to Busch Gardens Tampa to try this out for yourself. It is just unexplainable how good this coaster is. It's definitely worth the price of admission. I will dig deeper into Iron Gwazi in a separate review, which you can check out as well. To sum it up, go check it out. You will not regret it. So the next color we have is gray. I've decided to leave out black for this video, but when I update this, I will include it, so that means no Velocicoaster. Hopefully I will ride that soon, but I've ridden 7 roller coasters that are colored gray, and that includes indoor ones as well. My pick here is Verbolten at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. This is one of the most fun family coasters out there. It has a cool indoor part with a surprise that I'm not going to spoil here. There's a really good drop into the Rhine River, and it pulls very strong forces during the ride for a family coaster. It is a bummer that I've only ridden this once. It was in the front, which was appreciated. To sum it up, it's really fun. Definitely give it a gotta try it when you're at that park. Now let's stay there for the next color, white. I have ridden 3 roller coasters that are colored white, and we are not traveling far for the next coaster. Let's go from Oktoberfest over to Germany for the huge Bienenminver Alpengeist. This is the world's tallest Bienenminver at a staggering height of 195 feet, and it is a wild ride. From the first drop to the final breaks, it takes the wind out of you. There is a snappy cobra roll that doesn't feel right, there are very forceful valleys, but that mid-course is such a buzzkill. It slams to a stop, but that grants the 0G roll and corkscrew great hang time. To sum it up, it's a fantastic invert. Now let's go to a color that is used a lot, which is brown. I have rode a whopping 15 coasters that are colored brown, and most of them are wooden. So let's go from Busch Gardens Williamsburg over to Dollywood for the failed lightning rod. This used to be the only launched wooden coaster ever built, and it was so fun with the launch. It had that initial kink and you just shot up. Now, it's a slow lift hill, and I do get it, it's for reliability. But it is the worst paced RMC now. It crawls over at the highest points, but it's still better than over 90% of all roller coasters I've ridden, and it was phenomenal out of the 2 rides I've gotten on it. The quad down has non-stop ejector, the first drop has good floater, and it was not as rough as I thought. I've heard that it had a rattle in the back. When I rode it, I couldn't feel it. I'm extremely thankful I got to ride this with the launch. Now we have 3 unique entries, starting with Maroon. There are 3 coasters I've ridden that have a maroon track, and those are Diamondback at Kings Island, Twisted Timbers at Kings Dominion, and the winner here, Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. Where do I even begin with this ride? There is nothing like it. A 200-foot hyper hybrid with a track length of over 5,000 feet and over 27 seconds of airtime. I know that some people count this as a brown roller coaster, but it's my video. I'm counting it as maroon. Steel Vengeance will change you as a person after riding. When I went down that first drop, I knew I had a new number 1. And to make this better, it was my first RMC, so I got the creme de la creme of that company, not counting Guazi though. The airtime is crazy, the inversions have great laterals and hang time, and it's one of the smoothest coasters ever. RMCs in general are butter smooth. Now let's go to a color that is pretty, but the entry is not so smooth. I'm talking about turquoise. To start this off, I have not done Fury 325 yet. It would be a cool trip to do Carowinds and Six Flags over Georgia, but I'm getting off topic. I've ridden 2 coasters that are color turquoise, and both of them are at the same park. So let's travel south to Busch Gardens Tampa for Kumba. This has been closed for a long time for right now. I think it's for a refurb, but the ride itself for me is on the edge of being good and okay. On one hand, it has crazy inversions and the pacing just never stops. There are no dead spots, unless if you count the mid-course. On the other hand, it feels like rocks in a blender and your head is playing pinball between the restraints. This coaster really needs a retrack. Hopefully this opens up soon. It would absolutely suck losing a legend in the amusement industry. Now we have one more color left, and we are ending it out with a bang with gold. Same situation as yellow. I've only done one coaster that has a gold track color, so let's harness the speed and strength of 5 Roman gods as we conquer Pantheon. I love the color scheme for this coaster. I'm counting it as gold because it's not really a yellowish color. That's why it's a separate category. As for the ride, it was a new type of coaster model for me, and wow, it is incredible. Sure, the ride lacks in theming, but if you mainly focus on the layout, it is fantastic. Let's start with the swing launch. When you go backwards over this airtime hill, it is insane. Since you can't see it coming, the ejector airtime is even more pronounced, and the layout afterwards is really good. I am creating a review for this coaster, and I will publish it soon, so I want to hear from you guys. What's the best roller coaster you've ridden in each color? If you enjoyed this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you gave this video a like. We're just literal inches away from our goal of 700 subscribers, and I'm gonna do something cool for that milestone. You'll see it when we hit it, and thanks for the support. It really means a lot. So you can expect a new video coming out in the next 5 days, so make sure to keep that adrenaline pumping, and thanks for watching.